Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ramblin Radio, episode number 85. It's been a minute. We haven't posted a podcast in 8 days, but for good reason. Couple reasons. Before we get into those reasons, it's probably a little bit noisy. It is so damn hot in my office, and I don't know why, but it's cold throughout the rest of the apartment, so I can't turn on the AC. So I have to open a window. Sorry if it sounds like garbage. Anyways, why we were quiet on the podcast, number one, and most importantly, we had the workshop. We had the 3-day workshop last week, and it was a freaking blast. Usually when I do these things, it's over Instagram or it's a video series. This time we did a live workshop through Zoom. I got to use slides. It was a lot of fun. And the feedback that we got was incredible. You guys said that this was a massive eye-opener for you. And just a reminder of some of the things that we talked about, which is stuff that I've been talking about on this podcast for like 2 weeks now. And that is why the freelancing is a dead end, right? At some point you need to make a switch and create some type of business. You can't freelance forever. It's not going to work in your favor. There's no end game. There's no structure. There's no system for attracting clients. There's nothing that you're really maybe known for except for that creative skill, like videographer or designer. I design websites or whatever. But it's generic, right? And when you create an actual business and you become really, really known for something, that's when it becomes so much easier to land clients and land higher paying clients because you're solving a more specific problem. And something that we talked about in the workshop was how we need to start creating a path of least resistance. And when we are the freelancer, when we're pitching to potential clients and customers and things like that, it's hard. It's the big reason why I used to receive a lot of no's, and I see a lot of my peers and other people struggling and getting a lot of no's or getting low paying clients is because there's resistance. One of the types of resistance that is very, very popular is being so generic of, just saying, hey, I'm a videographer. I create really high quality content, and this content is really going to up level your brand. And when you speak in those kind of generic terms, you're giving more work to that potential client to figure out what the hell that you're going to do for them. Like, they have to do the work instead of you sharing, hey, this is what I do. I see the things that are going on in your business. This is how I solve them with this, and this, blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. You're creating a very easy value exchange of like, yes, I do understand you're the perfect person for my situation here. When we start to become too generic, which is what most people are doing, so you think that this market is way too saturated and there's a million creators out there. There's also a million creators that are just posting high quality shit and they're not really taking it to that next level. And maybe you're not as talented, right? Maybe you don't have the FPV drone or the anamorphic flares and shit like that. Maybe that's not you. You don't have that style, or you don't have access to that equipment, whatever. I'm just fucking around here. This is a huge opportunity for you to differentiate and land clients that those other people that are just posting high quality shit are not landing. And you might be getting paid more than they are because of that. And you're technically less talented potentially. Just throwing it out there. So it's this path of least resistance that we want to create. We want the client or customer to literally take one glance at our shit or listen to a few sentences or the way we communicate and be like, yes, wow, this service, this product was made for me. Okay. That's the kind of interaction that we want to create. That's the relationship that we want to have with these people. And it also does the flip side, and it so filters the people that you don't want to work with, right? So there's both sides of the coin there. And that was really day 2 of what we covered in the workshop. So if you want to go check that out, it's still available. Those videos are going down on March 14th at midnight. So I'll throw the link in the description. But even better, screw the workshop videos. The Creator's Blueprint is open, it's alive, it's well, and the workshop is like a little microscopic slice of what the Creator's Blueprint really is. So if you want to go get a sneak peek, go to the workshop. But if you want to actually get results and get your hands dirty and commit to yourself right now, Creator's Blueprint is open for you. And I want to talk about why this program is so special and it's unlike any other program that's out there. What the Creator's Blueprint is a business in a box. It's your own creative business in a box. It should be extremely customizable to what it is that you want to do. And there's millions of different ways to do it. There's millions of different revenue streams you can create for yourself. There's millions of different models that you can create for yourself. And one model is going to work for one person and not work for another person. And we have to figure that out. And the Creator's Blueprint is there for you to understand the pros and cons of each and customize your own that works for your lifestyle so that you can design a lifestyle that you actually love. I see so many creatives just editing behind their computer. I understand that a lot of people love it. They love editing and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're still stuck behind the computer for a solid 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours at a crack, however you tend to edit and whatnot. And it's not just editing. It's a whole bunch of different things that's going on that if you are the freelancer, you have to do. You're kind of stuck doing these things. And I think you can do both. When I say design a lifestyle that you love, I talked about this in the workshop, it's the freedom to edit or not to edit. Wouldn't you rather have the choice to sit down and do the edit or not have to do the edit? That's really the freedom that I'm talking about here. And that was the switch that I made because I was getting to a point with my client work that I wasn't able to create for my personal brand as much. I was just working for, other people basically, and I was gone everywhere. And, if I stopped working, the business stopped working. And that was exhausting, right? Because who wants to constantly work all the time, every single day, weekends, whatever? And so I started to develop a new mindset of creating a machine, something that actually gives me results without me having to put any extra effort into it. And you can do it in many different ways. You can do the digital product route. You can do the agency or the production house, the production company. You could do any type of business. The key here is it a machine? And do you have a system in place that allows you the freedom to play the role that you're supposed to play and also have the freedom to not play that role for a second and have fun and do whatever it is that you want to do? A great example is a touring photographer, right? I could never be a touring photographer, but there's some people that do love being touring photographers. They love it. They love going to concerts and all that good stuff. They love, hanging out with their favorite artists and whatnot. But then you have a business like Insomniac, or there's another one. I always forget the name. I think it's Insomniac. I think there's another one too. But these guys created a business that hires touring photographers. It's under their umbrella, and they outsource the actual photography and the videography, the content, and they take a percentage from that artist. So it's a win-win because the artist is getting the opportunity and it's under the business's umbrella, so they're getting paid for it as well. They have the freedom or the choice to go and shoot if they want to shoot, or they have this huge, thick network of talented creatives that are underneath their umbrella, and they've created a model that allows them to do that. That's amazing. That's the switch that we need to make here. And so getting back to the Creator's Blueprint, how this is going to work is when you sign up, we are going to get started on March 20th, and there's a 6-part system that I've created that's part of the Creator's Blueprint system. It's 6 parts. The first part is mindset, and I'm sure that's not a shock at all whatsoever, because the subhead of the podcast is structure your mind, structure your business, or whatever. That's the Creator's Blueprint, right? Structure your mind, structure your business, right? Systems. So we start with mindset. We need to start unpacking these limiting beliefs and reversing them into strengths, into belief systems that actually encourage us. And it sounds, to the person that doesn't do any kind of mindset stuff, it sounds so stupid and ridiculous. But when you start to realize that these old belief patterns that you've had at the age of 7 are fucking you up and you didn't realize it, and then when you start asking these questions and start getting real deep, we get real deep in the program. When we start unpacking these things, then you realize, oh shit, like I really do have a problem. I really do have a problem with money and feeling scarce all the time, like I'm just going to lose everything. What's that all about? And what happens is these beliefs create the thoughts that circulate in our head, and then those thoughts end up creating the actions that we take on a day-to-day basis. So that's why our mindset, and that's why I go so hard on it. Because it's changed my life and it continues to do so. And I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But as long as you're aware of it and you're constantly checking in with yourself, you're never going to be one day wake up and be like, oh, I don't have imposter syndrome anymore. I'm good. Oh yeah, I don't compare myself anymore, ever. Never. It never gets to that point. And I know that because I spend time with really high achievers and they're going through the same shit I'm going through, and you're going through the same shit that I go through. The difference is at each level, you know how to handle it better. You're aware of it, you know how to handle it better, and you know how to not have it fuck up your day most of the time. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, for sure. But as you continue to get to these different levels, you don't have a choice. If someone's at a higher level, it's because they've worked on this stuff. You can't get around it. You just can't. Or that person is extremely unhappy then, or something bad's going on in their life, believe me. So that's the foundation, because it's the domino effect to everything else that we're going to do in this program. Number 2 is your visionary blueprint, the vision. None of this is going to work unless you know how to plan everything out to a T so that you wake up with extreme clarity. Maybe you've never had that before. Good chance that you haven't. Or maybe you've lost it. You had it and then you've lost it. I've got a system that I've used for the past 3 years now that just makes things really, really simple. And I have a summarized version of it. I made a podcast episode of it. It's a summarized version of it. But we dive even deeper into the Creator's Blueprint, and how you can make some of these daunting tasks, turn them into these nice bite-sized projects and place them out throughout your calendar so it becomes really easy. And this is what extreme high achievers, 7-8-figure earners do. This is the way they set up their calendar year. And I'm going to go over that entire system with you guys, because it's just everything that we discuss afterwards, it's just going to fall apart. Mindset, if you don't have the belief systems, if you don't have the daily practices, everything's going to fall apart. If you don't have the roadmap and have that clarity and know what you're accomplishing day in, day out, sounds simple, But business can be complicated. It can be if you don't have your shit together. It can get really overwhelming, especially as a solopreneur, which you should be, be scared of ever calling yourself a solopreneur. Be scared of it. That'll be another podcast episode. So that's number 2 is your vision. Number 3 is your service, your product, your service, the thing that you're going to be known for. And if you're a part of the workshop, solidifying it so much that when it is time to scale, you're not going to have holes and it's not going to fucking fall apart on you, and you're going to waste a bunch of people's time and, all that stuff. So creating a service that you become known for, more importantly, becoming a master problem solver and knowing how to adapt in certain situations like COVID, right? There's so many, I can't tell you how many times but friends of mine that I knew that were struggling and whatnot, seeing who pivoted and who thought quick and who saw opportunities versus the people that didn't, right? The people that just, looked at what was in front of them and said, oh, this sucks, instead of getting right to solving the problem right away and seeing different opportunities. If you're a master problem solver, you can get out of any kind of economic trouble, any kind of situation, if you're truly a master problem solver. I truly believe that. And so that's part of this service of being a problem solver, because I don't care if you're creative. I don't care if you're fucking whoever. If you are getting paid for something, you are solving some type of problem. And that's just the way it is. That's as simple as it gets. And we've talked about that all the time. Then once we get past that stage, then we go into our marketing blueprint. And this is where we want to start creating the path of least resistance, right? The pitching, the selling, but also getting more eyes on what we do and what things we shouldn't be focusing on, like our website or our branding yet. Let's chill on that for a second. It's important, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying, let's say you're a designer right now and you're fucking fuming at me. That's your product, right? If that's not your product, relax. I'm talking about the colors. I'm talking about, whatever. It has nothing to do with like your portfolio, right? That's your product, right? I've talked about how I've made 6 figures without a website, but I had a portfolio and I had specific projects to show certain individuals, and I showed them specific projects because I knew that would maybe display that what I could do for them a lot better than like just a random old wedding or something that I shot years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? And so our marketing blueprint, creating the path of least resistance, becoming that ideal person for someone to hire us, right? So marketing, that's number 4. And I've set this program up this time where you have to finish the entire phase before you go to the next step. So if you're in mindset and you skip one, you're not going to vision. You're not going to the vision blueprint, or you're not going to skip to the marketing blueprint. I've set this up in a way where you need to follow it to a T in order to get the best results, or things are just going to fall apart. Maybe not short term right away, but eventually it's going to start crumbling. I've experienced that, and it's not fun. So your marketing blueprint is number 4. That's phase 4. Phase 5 is, okay, we've got our marketing down. We've got our service. All right, we're starting to get some cash flow coming in. It's time to build a team. So number 5 is your team blueprint. And I don't know, some of you guys are probably listening like, oh man, I'm not even going to be able to afford this program. How am I going to even be able to afford a team? Let me tell you, you will be surprised at what you can do when you are under pressure. When you are under pressure, when it is time to perform, you will be shocked at what you can do in life. And I hope that I've become somewhat of an example with that, with just being uncomfortable, making the risky decision, taking the opportunity cost. Yeah, it's a speed bump. Yeah, it was $10,000 that I felt. Anybody would have said, yeah, you just threw that out the window. That was 2 years ago when I tossed that 10 grand. Am I even thinking about it? Do I even lose sleep over it right now? No, I don't. I don't think about that day at all, except when I'm talking about it with you, making a podcast episode, telling you to get your head out of your ass and start making the decisions based on your fucking vision. And you can always hire someone, really almost no matter what stage that you're in. Number one, you can become resourceful. You can collaborate in certain situations. And number two, there's plenty of people that are available in different countries that the US dollar is a lot more than theirs. And it's a win-win. They're more than happy. It's a dream job for them. And I feel like a lot of people, at least for me, when I started hearing things like, oh, hiring from the Philippines or whatever, like that's, or hiring from Egypt, like that just sounds wrong or whatever. You don't know until you actually get on the phone with these people and start working with them. It's a dream job for them. They fucking love it. And so it's such a win-win. And so you can find people that are very, very affordable at different levels that you're in. And it's just it's a great experience because you get to learn those leadership skills and those communication skills and all that good stuff. So yeah, we'll be talking about that a lot and how to hire that right person. And then finally, part 6 is to scale. First, automate. Definitely automate. We're going to be automating throughout the whole program, but scaling is dead last because too many people are so quick to scale when they don't have all their ducks in a row. They don't have the testimonials or the case studies. They don't have the team in place to even handle the load of customers or clients that are coming their way or certain projects that they can handle. They don't have the automations set up. They don't have the systems set up to handle certain loads and things like that. People are just so quick to grow and get more clients and make more money and stuff like that when they make enough money and they're not taking advantage of what they do have right now and then scaling and doing it the right way. So those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about, but more importantly, how you're going to be able to walk away and still have your business run while you're, up in the air traveling when we're able to travel or, when you want to go on a vacation and your assistant can handle certain situations and you've got funnels running or ads or whatever it is, right? That's when it gets really special and starts to become a lot more fun, which is why probably people tend to rush into it. And I was one of those people. So that's the whole reason why I'm talking about it is because, I was the strategy guy. I was the ad guy. Like I just got to pump more ads and I'll make more money. And meanwhile, I've got no team. I've got I've got no onboarding process. Like, if I always love to use the example of, what if you just had 1,000 clients or customers just walk through your door? What would happen? And the honest answer at that point in time for me was I would probably get a shit ton of refunds because the customer service would have been so poor. I would have been overwhelmed, anxious, unhappy, like the bombs would be going off. You know what I mean? Here's all this money, but it would all be going out the window because I would have all these holes in my service, in my systems, in my boat, which is, if you're part of the workshop or the Careers Blueprint, you know what I'm talking about. So that's the 6-part phase for the Careers Blueprint. That's what we're going to be working on together for 12 weeks. So now it's a 12-week program. And then we also have 6 live coaching calls where you and I are going to get on a call as a group, a 90-minute coaching call. And those are spaced out once every other week. So you have plenty of time to go over the material. We usually get a lot of inquiries on, hey, can I do this in my own time? And yes, you can. I just want you to be committed. So when you do sit down and do it, commit to it. When you're busy, you're busy. But when you're ready and you're ready to commit and sit down to do the worksheets and watch the videos and participate, sit down and fucking do the damn thing. That's all I ask. And we've spaced it out to let you do that, to give you more time to go over this material, because it can be a lot. And that was one of the things that we had to work on, because it was a lot of material once a week, every week. There was new modules, new content. It was just a lot. So we're spacing it out, and then we get to work together longer. So it really is a win-win. After we go through those 6 phases, the coaching calls and things like that, there's going to be another part of the program that opens up with a bunch of shortcuts. And instead of diving into just all the material and trying to find your solution, all you're going to have to do now is go into this section. And it's not going to be everything, but it's going to be your main consistent creative business tasks. Like, you need to hire a VA, or maybe cash flow is a little rough right now. I got to get that next client. We got a process for that. Oh, actually, I want to launch a digital product. We got a process for that. The Creator's Blueprint comes with the Ready, Set, Launch program. So you're going to get all my launch formulas. You're going to get everything, my entire system for creating and launching and scaling digital products. And that all comes with the Creator's Blueprint. So not only do you get to learn how to pitch, sell, work with high-end clients and build your client business, but we're also going to show you, if you need to, it's there. If you need to, it's there for you on how to launch and sell digital products, because it's an amazing source of revenue. If you don't want to make it your full-time business, you don't have to. You don't have to follow my footsteps. But if you do, or if you just want it to be a revenue stream, it's there for you. So I'm very excited about that. And then we have some amazing guest experts. Some of them are going to pop on a live call with us. Some of them have their own individual modules. And it's just a great time. It's such a steal for the price point, with everything that you get and the amount of results that the people get and what you're going to get if you commit to it. We had Fernando, who, shout out to Fernando. He hit this month. He's got a wedding filmmaking business, and he did $40K in revenue for the month of January and February. Just like these wins that are great. And then my podcast editor, Jonah, who he's a Creator's Blueprint member turned into my podcast editor, and he landed a massive client with Corona for $30,000. Unbelievable. It's just really fucking cool success stories. And so the shit works. I wouldn't continue to just pitch bullshit at you if it didn't fucking work. So just look at the page. I mean, the people that are like, I don't have the money, we have flexible payment plans. We have a 12-month payment plan at $197. You can get inside this program for literally just $197. And you're going to learn how to 10x that. Just one client. Literally, it's a $2,000 program. That's one client. You can just go on to the Creator Blueprint homepage, and you can look at all the wins of all these people landing $6,500 client, a 5-figure client, $6,000 client. I got a great story. Somebody, I'm not going to say who his name is, but he came into the Blueprint right when COVID hit. So we launched the Creator's Blueprint. COVID hit. I think I'm going to have this person come on to the podcast, but I launched the Creator's Blueprint. Then COVID hit. Not the majority, but a good portion of all the members, those current members, lost a shit ton of clients. Like, a lot of people, and everyone was freaking out. So I'm hopping on calls. I'm like, okay, let's figure this shit out, right? And what ended up happening with this one individual, this person was trying to drop the Creator's Blueprint. This person came to me and was like, I can't afford it anymore. Like, I lost all my clients, or the majority of them. Like, I'm screwed here. And I told this person, stay inside the Blueprint, keep access to all the resources, the tools. just pay $20 a month or $10 a month, whatever. Just pay a little bit. I think we put this person on $20 a month. Just pay a little bit, at least so you're feeling good, and I can still give you the program. Like, you can still have access to it or whatever. This person's like, all right, fine. I'll do that. Long story short, comes back to me a handful of months later, like 6 months later. And not only did he book a $6,000 project, but paid off the entire blueprint, not just the payment plan. It started going on the normal monthly payment plan. He paid the entire remaining balance right away, and basically just said, thanks for sticking in there. And out of all of the success stories and the $40,000 in revenue, and I just booked $30,000 client, and I booked $30,000 of work, though this person's story was the story that probably touched me the most. That was really like, wow, that was fucking cool. That was awesome. So if you're listening to this, you know who you are, and I appreciate you. And let the good times roll, baby. So that's my little spiel, the Careers Blueprint. I've never made like a full blown pitch like that. That was just kind of my transparent spiel. And then last, just remaining thoughts. You get a bunch of bonuses. You get the Ready Set Launch program that's valued at $1,000, which is probably should be valued more. And then you get the 2-day live event. We're still doing the 2-day live event when LA opens up and everything's good. Guys, this live event, I'm so stoked. Everyone in the that's already in the blueprint is so pumped. They're just like, all right, let's just do this fucking thing. That's going to be valued at $3,000. We're going to get a dope fucking Airbnb and have this 2-day live event and cater the whole thing. It's going to be fucking sick. And then you also get my filmmaking course on my entire creative workflow and how I create content and all that good stuff. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Creator's Blueprint. We close March 12th at midnight. If you do not get in March 12th, the doors will close and you are shit out of luck. Get inside this thing. We're going to start working March 20th. I cannot wait. And if you have any questions, just reach out. Send me a DM, and I'll get back. I can't even talk. I'll get back to you ASAP. Have a good rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon. And that's it. Peace.